Once upon a time, can you imagine it? Ubisoft actually released quality video games. I know, quality and Ubisoft don't go in the same sentence, never. But 10 years ago, it could be said that Ubisoft wasn't so bad. The Assassin's Creed games, the Tom Clancy games, I mean, these are all classics. But see, that was in the distant past. Therefore, those times no longer matter. Over the last decade, Ubisoft has failed, miserably. But I think one of the good things we got out of the last decade was Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs 1 and 2 are absolutely amazing games in my opinion. Unique open world experiences that integrate a mechanic that no other game really has completely captured, and that's hacking. Usually hacking is a skill tree or it's a small part of the game, but these games were based entirely around hacking. You could hack cars, you could hack traffic lights, you could hack buildings, you could hack the entire electrical grid in a city. This was basically a superhero game, except technology is replacing powers. Only Ubisoft, only a shitty company like Ubisoft could completely ruin it. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? I'm Treyllo, welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the downfall of Watch Dogs and how the overall franchise went from everything to nothing. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. In 2013, we had a E3 trailer of Watch Dogs 1. Now, even though Watch Dogs 1 was a good game, this is actually the beginning of Ubisoft's downfall. A massive controversy broke out after E3's reveal of Watch Dogs. It turned out that the gameplay they showed looked nothing like the actual gameplay that you get at launch. People called Ubisoft liars, they called them frauds, all the things that we hear about them now that turned out to be true. They were basically scamming people. But anyway, Watch Dogs 1 was fire. We followed the main character, Aiden, who was a serious-ass guy. This game wasn't no joke. He was a hacker, and he was getting shit done. This game's story and all its mechanics were polished. We hadn't seen a game like this ever before, and I was all for it. By the time you were late game in Watch Dogs, you felt like God. You were disabling helicopters, blowing up random sewer tanks in the ground, hacking civilians' bank accounts and taking money out. I mean, dude, all the mechanics were so good in Watch Dogs. And then they brought us back only a couple years later in 2016 to Watch Dogs 2. Now, I love Watch Dogs 2. I personally think it is top 5 Ubisoft games ever released. There were no flaws with the game, and it only expanded on everything Watch Dogs 1 did initially. More ways to hack, more skill trees, changing up the tone of the game. Watch Dogs 1 was serious. Oh, dude, we gotta save this guy. Oh, he's gonna kill my daughter. Shit like that. Watch Dogs 2 was a lot more hip, a lot more upbeat. San Francisco, black guy, parkour. I couldn't get over how much I loved Watch Dogs 2. The game is the full realization of the concept of Watch Dogs, both in the plot and the gameplay choices. So how could this incredible franchise that is so carried by hacking and so carried by this mechanic fail? It's simple. Your name just has to be Ubisoft. Watch Dogs Legion. Fuck me. In other words, Watch Dogs, the end. The last game, the death of the franchise. Watch Dogs Legion had such a plethora of problems. Number one, clearly just being a rush title. So many bugs, animations weren't working, police systems weren't working, progression bugs where you couldn't even continue in the goddamn story, a shitty plot that was worse than both of the prior games, but most detrimentally, this shitty recruitment system. You see, Watch Dogs Legion had to be different. It couldn't just repeat the same thing the first two games did and just add more hacking abilities. I understand that. They needed a new mechanic to kind of freshen up the game, you could say. Watch Dogs 2 had parkour and more technology you could use. Watch Dogs Legion had the recruitment system. This basically means that there is no main character in the game. Instead, you're building a legion of hackers that you can swap between and choose who you want to play. And you can upgrade them and do all that. That actually pretty much ruined the game. No longer did your character feel like some type of badass hacker with some backstory as to why he hates, the corporations and shit. Basically, they made it feel that if you had a phone, you were a hacker and that anybody could be that. I remember they were advertising like you could be a grandma and still be a hacker and shit like that, but like that's not really like a feature. That's more of just like a fucking meme. Like nobody actually wants to do that and thinks that it's funny. You lost a connection to one of the main parts of the game, and that's being that badass individual person hacker, not a plethora of people who have an app on their fucking phone. The recruitment system also was annoying. You didn't really want to change characters. You didn't really have to. You could just kind of stick with one person and continue. Yet they pushed that feature of the game so hard, it left a lot of other things unpolished and unupgraded from the last game. They call this a next-gen title when really this shit was taken 10 steps back. No interactable phone interface, no music that you can listen to, no having cars dropped off to you, and like I said earlier, the story being dog shit didn't help. Watch Dogs 1 and 2 had captivating stories to me. The fact that you were a small person in a big world that was all susceptible to being hacked, and you were trying to solve the problem using the hacks. That was a really cool story. That was a really cool idea. But to disconnect the main character from the story, and then to make the main story shit in general, led to the downfall of Watch Dogs. And the game just being unpolished and clearly not ready for release, all collectively led to the downfall of Watch Dogs. And here is why I'm sad. This failure will not be given a second chance. Even though I loved Watch Dogs 2, it didn't really sell well. And it made money back over time, but it wasn't really a successful game for Ubisoft sales. Watch Dogs Legion was the second chance for Watch Dogs. It wasn't like Watch Dogs Legion was the reason it's over. So it's a build-up effect of two games collectively not doing well. So obviously Watch Dogs Legion did not perform well. It sold a decent amount of copies, but not enough for Ubisoft to say, hey, the hype is back, let's make a fourth game. This really cool concept of Watch Dogs will be forgotten, all because Ubisoft couldn't get their shit together. I mean, they fucked up Assassin's Creed, they fucked up Far Cry, but now fucking up Watch Dogs, it's really sad, man. It's really sad, man. Guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Let me know if you enjoyed Watch Dogs and which games you enjoyed individually and which ones you hated. Without further ado, I'm Treyllo, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.